Well, we have a potentially dangerous situation today in parts of the Ohio River Valley and moderate risk of severe weather. Long track tornadoes are possible. So we have a moderate risk of severe weather across southern Ohio into northern Kentucky, southeastern Indiana, and there was a moderate risk for this area, level 4 out of 5 yesterday even. Pretty rare that you have a moderate risk a day out or more in advance, but this is a significant setup here. This whole hatched area is a 10% chance of EF2 or greater potential tornadoes, and these could be long track tornadoes, meaning they're on the ground for a while potentially. This same dynamic system created a lot of severe weather reports yesterday. 3 tornado reports in Oklahoma. A semi-driver was trapped in a vehicle at one point, and then a lot of hail and wind reports. And in particular, as I just mentioned, the Storm Prediction Center is worried about these long-lived tornadoes. So not these brief touchdowns that most thunderstorms produce when they produce tornadoes, but potentially strong tornadoes and tornadic storms that can persist for hours. The center of this system, a dynamic spring storm, we've got snow in Wisconsin, cold front draped down across Missouri and Illinois, and we've got some ongoing thunderstorms out ahead of it, but you can see the winds here. Strong north winds. This is the cold front moving across Illinois. Ahead of it, a warmer, more humid air mass developing today. Will be into the 60s and 70s in the warm side of things across southern Indiana, Illinois, into Kentucky, and then in particular, plenty of moisture to work with here. Dew points are going to be in the 60s. Doesn't have to be in the 70s for tornadoes. In fact, statistically, the ideal zone is dew points in the 60s, and we'll have that muggy air sitting right in place ahead of that cold front. So plenty of moisture to work with. The other thing we're watching for is strong winds aloft. This is the jet stream level winds. You go 30,000 feet up. Those winds will be increasing and pushing into that area. And mid-level winds too. So further down, 10 to 15,000 feet up, 100-mile-per-hour winds at that level is pretty uncommon. So this is that shows that there's a huge temperature contrast, and that will create shear. Lots of shear to work with, winds moving in different speeds with height, and that helps to rotate storms in even different directions. So I'm not going to dive too far into this, but one of the things we look at are photographs, which shows what winds are doing as you go up in height. And you want to see kind of this shape to it, because this means surface winds are moving one way, and then as you go aloft, it kind of curves and turns a different way. And that sweet spot for those potential strong tornadoes will be right in that area ahead of the cold front today. So that's what this is showing, is those photographs, forecast photographs. So supercell index pretty high across southern Illinois, Indiana, into Kentucky and Tennessee today. And that will also spell pretty much right on top of where we see the significant tornado parameter. So both of those things are looking at instability, the amount of energy available, moisture content, and also, most importantly, where winds are shifting with speed and direction with height. And forecast updrafts, where we see those strongest storms kind of lining right up with all that too. So here's 3 p.m. early to mid-afternoon. We'll see those discrete cells pop up and then probably form into a line that'll produce significant wind damage potentially as they move towards the Appalachians. So again, moderate risk of severe weather, a pretty dangerous setup potentially for the Ohio River Valley today. Follow us on social media and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're alerted to the next chance of extreme weather in the U.S.